Good evening, I'm Brady Alderson, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Earlier today, Husker women's basketball team signee Ashlyn Copel earned one of the 24 high school McDonald's All-American team roster spots. The 6'3 senior at Wagner Community High School is averaging 30 points per game, 15.5 rebounds per game, and has scored over 2,300 points in her high school basketball career. The McDonald's All-American Games will be held in Phoenix on March 31st. In other Husker women's basketball news, Britt Prince was named to a list of 10 mid-season candidates for the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard of the Year award. The 5'11 sophomore leads the Huskers with over 18 points per game and is shooting it at over 50% from the field and from three. Prince has also seen unprecedented success from the free throw line, making her last 48 free throws in a row. The final vote for the Lieberman Award will take place on March 20th, with the winner to be announced shortly after. The Sports Ticker was brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit stonebridgeiwm.com. Coming up next is Hour 1 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Sanford climbs up underneath Wagler. Here comes a screen for Wagler. They switch it again. Jacobson's got him. Shot blocked! Loose on the floor. Coming up with it is Sanford. Sanford looks for the trailer. It's Frager. Frager, a dribble. The shot by Hoiberg. Got it. Holy smokes! Holy cow! Tied the game at 31. Ivasic down the floor. Stojakovic for Illinois. Picked up by Hoiberg. Puts his head down. Stripped away by Jacobson. Jacobson's been a demon defensively. Jacobson down the left side. All the way in. Lays it up and good! How about Big Jake? That's Jacobson. Way to go, Kale, my boy.
3-ball for Nisley. You betcha! Huskers take the lead. A Central Valley 8-3 from Logan Nisley. Deep on the right wing. You betcha. Timeout, Ohio State.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome in. Happy Monday, everybody. We've got a big 2 hours headed your way. Our Nebraska men's basketball hour coming up here in hour number 2. Peyton Border is going to stop by. I'm so excited for that conversation. He's a guy that Fred Hoiberg has just raved about since he's been here, been a part of the staff, been a big part of the recruiting efforts. And so excited for that conversation coming up in hour number 2. Lots to talk about in that conversation. He'll be with Kyle in the 7 o'clock hour. And Will Bolk going to stop by because the countdown is on. Next week? From Friday is the opener.
Can you believe it? We have softball this week.
This Friday.
We have baseball next week, and we have 60-degree weather on the horizon. Close to, I thought I saw 60 degrees on my 10-day.
You are
57
ecstatic.
on Thursday. We got 54, 52 Saturday, Sunday. I think baseball is going to be scrimmaging a little bit at Haymarket Park, so I'll get a chance maybe to get out there. And it's T-shirt and shorts. I think I'm going to say it. I think the hardest part of winter.
Don't jinx it. You want to talk about Brady jinxing Britt Prince and the ticker. Don't jinx the weather, Kyle.
Lean into the radios. I think the hardest part of winter may be over.
You never know. Listen, I've experienced some cold days in April here.
Yeah, look, it's coming. But can I enjoy this week? Because
you can enjoy this week.
It's still cold, though. Today, a little bit warmer. Yesterday was in the 40s. It felt warm. The snow was melting. I mean, let's face it. These last 2 weeks have been brutal. They've been pretty eye-opening.
Yes.
But so it's good to have a little light at the end of the tunnel, not just with weather, but with some spring sports.
Yes, for sure. So Will Bolt coming up here in just a few minutes with Kyle. So heavy dose of Kyle Crooks tonight.
Yeah, you might not like it, but you're going to get it. You'll get more Jess tomorrow.
You're going to get it. Hey, well, tough one. Man, just a heartbreaker yesterday. It was just an electric atmosphere, and man, it was such a fun first half and just ran out of gas and that size. And Illinois is a good basketball team, but just couldn't quite get over the hump and get back in that thing late in the game yesterday for Nebraska men's basketball.
Yeah, frustrating. I'll say this about the positives of yesterday. I think it was a recruiting win for the program for not just basketball, but football.
Football, yep.
They had Trey Taylor was in the house, got a chance to see him. We talked about this at about 9 minutes on the clock. I think it was previous to that, so teams weren't on the floor yet. There wasn't an empty seat. Everybody was sitting in their seats.
Everybody wore white.
Shout out to marketing, Katie Coyle. That whole group really did an awesome job coordinating that with the social media campaign. Sometimes those are hard to pull off. They pulled it off. Everybody, credit to the fan base. They showed out. I was saying today to somebody that I was watching back some of the TV highlights, and after one of the Sanford threes that I think it might have been a Hoiberg three, but it was so loud, like even on the TV copy. And it was loud when we were in the arena, but it was even louder than I remember it on the TV copy. It was, and the standing ovation that Braden Frager.
You asked me, we were standing in the tunnel, and you said, did Michael Jordan just check into the game?
It was incredible. It's everything that you want as a college athlete. And we said this going into the game. They deserve that atmosphere. And the reality is, and this is where we have to bring people back down to earth, is you're not going to win every game. You're 20-2. You've lost 2 games against top 10 teams. Illinois has won, I think, 11 straight now. They are the hottest team in the country. They have not just the best freshman in the conference, perhaps the best player in the conference in Keaton Wagler, who's incredible, years beyond what he should be in terms of, he's a young player, but he plays years beyond, just incredibly mature and talented and skilled. They have an incredibly skilled front court. And the reality, when you look at it, end of the day, you split against Illinois, which is, it's funny, you never thought you'd probably win the game at Illinois. You'd think if you were going to go 1-1 that you'd flip who won which game. Either team was able to guard their home court. So you split with Illinois. You take that, and now you have Rutgers on Saturday, which is a tough, pesky team, and then Purdue, and then you're starting to play some of the teams that might be in the lower half of the league. So there's certain things that you have to work out. I think Rink has to get a little bit more in a rhythm. You could tell he hasn't touched a basketball in a week.
Yep.
It's one thing to get him back and get him closer to 100%, but he also hasn't been around the team for a while. So when you're not putting up shots every single day, it can take you out of your rhythm. We certainly saw that. I think we saw great things with Braden Frager. I mean, for him to come off the bench, first game back from the ankle, put up 20.
Camden and I were sitting there watching him in warm-ups. He didn't miss.
No.
You could tell he was fired up to be back.
Yeah, you could just sense he's built for the big moment. We know that. Price continues to do what he does.
He didn't score against Illinois in the first game, so it was good for him to have a big game in that kind of game.
I just think you can't afford to have Rink Mass not score until 2 minutes left in the game and expect to win.
Yeah, and look, he's coming off having the flu, and it takes some time to get back off that. I thought he looked a little weak, and Coach Hoiberg said that, so I think he's going to have to be in the games, and you and I have talked about this off air, about size potentially being an issue for this team, and they've been able to overcome that a little bit with forcing turnovers against Michigan State. Michigan, they were right there. They just ran out of gas. But, Rink is going to have to be good and make an impact in these games against teams with size. And he just, was not able to really have his full impact of what he's capable of in this one, I think, because he wasn't full strength.
Yeah, you really didn't get much out of that 5 spot, between Mast and Buchtenschel. You didn't have a whole lot out of that, and you got a lot out of your front court if you're Illinois. So they won that battle, plus they had Wagler. It was, some of the offensive rebounds they had in the second half were just killer, where you're resetting the shot clock and you're just churning more time, and shots were not falling. The good thing is Nebraska, in the flow of their offense, continued to get open shots in the second half. They put up a ton of threes because Illinois, they dare you to go in the paint. And good luck trying to score in the paint against Illinois. But you had open shots. You didn't hit them in the second half. And Illinois is one of those teams that just continue to chip away, churn clock, work a little bit slower in the half court, slow down the pace. And when you're not hitting shots, it just all of that doubled down in the second half. And you could slowly feel the air come out of it. And the reality is you're 20-2. You're in a good spot in the Big Ten. You still have an opportunity to be a really high seed in the Big Ten tournament, win a Big Ten regular season. Everything is still on the table because there's still a month left.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are not 2 losses that, and Coach Hoiberg joked about it. They got a lot of praise for even losing that game at Michigan. So I think they earned a lot of bonus points for that one. But they've shown what they can do against the teams that they're favored in. They've proven that they can handle those. And I think it was good for him to stand up. I kind of noticed that, and I was actually going to ask him about that. I just didn't have time last week in the TV show. Some of the ways teams have been pretty aggressive and physical with Price, how they've guarded him, and then he brought it up in his press conference. You know, they've got to address that, and hopefully moving forward, some of the officiating, now that he's made that clear and he's had some conversations, and he's so well respected because of how he handles himself. Hopefully, you know, he's pointed that out, and now you know, he'll get some calls there and that, and so that Price has some freedom of movement, because he's got to be able to have that. And because Price has got to continue to have 20-point games for this team to do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, to those comments that you're alluding to, said he was kind of being held all over the place, and you have to be able to call that.
I don't think Illinois was the first night that was happening either.
And not usually, Jess, at home in a Big Ten game, you are minus 21 in free throw attempts. You had 5 free throw attempts to Illinois' 26. I don't necessarily think that's anything to do with the officials. It's just the lack of aggressiveness and being able to get into the lane because there's so many shot blockers down there. You're taking a lot of threes.
Mark on the text line said, next 2 weeks look nice, but Phil has spoken. 6 more weeks of winter, Kyle.
Oh, Phil. Phil's a bummer.
All right, let's go ahead and get to a break so we have plenty of time to hear from that baseball coach, Will Bolt, who is a week from Friday opening up their season. So we'll dive into that, preview the season coming up next with Will Bolt. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Life is busy. Wouldn't it be great if someone could help you manage your insurance?
Well, I do have a lot to keep on top of. Between the house, my life insurance, the car. Like you said, life is busy.
A local Trusted Choice independent insurance agent can help you with your research, coverage selection, pricing, and claims at no extra cost to you.
Which means I'll have more time to spend on other things.
Trusted Choice independent insurance agents. We'll help do your insurance. You just do you.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path, Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Kyle Crooks now joined by a very special guest. And if you looked at the 10-day weather forecast, it's starting to feel a little bit more like spring. Considering a couple weeks ago, it was the feels like temperature was negative 22. With that, we welcome in the head baseball coach here at Nebraska, Will Bolt. Coach, it's good to see you first time in the new studio, but we got some 60-degree weather, some mid-50s this week. I know you guys started spring practice a little bit earlier this year, but it's starting to feel like baseball a little bit, at least for this week until it goes back to like 5 degrees.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I don't see why we have to travel to Arizona to play this weekend. I mean, you know, we could play here at Hawks Field, but no, it's we've been going at it now since the 12th of January, and I'm sure the guys are at this point ready to see somebody else, but also understanding that we have some good days. It looks like this week to get outdoors and hopefully scrimmage a few days this week and see some fly balls and get some live base running and some of those things. So. Be a good cap to some good preseason workouts.
What are some of the things in the fall and here in the spring that you want to see this group attack, maybe improve on from last year? What was another Big Ten tournament championship team?
Yeah, I think the main thing that we always talk to the team about is just like the fall is always a staging process. I mean, there's guys that have great falls that come back in January and don't do as well, and vice versa, and just nobody really cares about the fall stats. Really, the fall is kind of a staging process individually, but it's also more of a time to just kind of set the tone for the team and just like what the mentality of the group's going to be, how tight we are, how well we play off each other, how competitive we are. And those are things that they open your eyes in the fall. And then you kind of set that bar for what that's going to look like come springtime. And I think the guys, that it's been a consensus with this group is that they've meshed really well. The personalities mesh really well all the way back in August. We set the tone by having a real competitive fall, and they were really determined to come back in January and make sure that we just continue that on. And that's a difference maker, honestly, early on when the margin for error is so thin, especially everybody's kind of just getting out and playing, for the first time early. There's going to be some mistakes here and there for both teams, but the teams that are kind of the most tight-knit, that have the chemistry, that play together better, kind of have the best chance to get the big hit when it matters most, make the big pitch, the big play when it matters most. I think that's something that we saw early on the 2024 season, where we got off to a great start. We won a lot of close games, and then last year was a little bit the opposite of that. We just didn't have that kind of that chemistry between both sides of the ball, and it took us a while to figure it out. But this year we're hoping to continue what we've been doing and get off to a great start.
And that chemistry piece of it can be tough every single year because of the roster turnover, but specifically for you guys, you have a lot of new guys now in the fold.
Yeah, and every year it's about half the roster. I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. It's just like you got to figure out a way to get the right guys on the bus that are coming back from the year before that are going to help you win. And now we have this group of guys, there's 20 of them. I think 12 guys that all they've known in college baseball is winning Big Ten championships. So that's a good thing, right? And they also want to do more. They want to, they came back because they wanted to be part of doing something a little bit more. So, then the new guys coming in, just understanding that they're running to something here, right? They've come here saying, hey, I want to be part of a winning program. I want to be part of the culture that I see there. You go through the recruiting process and, you just try to be as transparent and open as you can about how things are and kind of lay it out there for those new guys and say, hey, this is who we are. Take us for what we are. And saw a group of guys that were running to something here. So a bunch of guys meshing well together and just kind of excited to see how it all comes together.
Chatting with Coach Bolton, a couple weeks ago we had your squad up here, baseball team up here for internal media days, and Ben McLaughlin, the voice of Husker baseball, had a chance to interview Dylan Carey for our platforms, and I just see how buttoned up he is, how professional he is. You probably didn't expect you to get him back here for another year. He's been a starter ever since he stepped foot on campus, and I guess does he provide a quiet leadership? We know what he does on the field, but having him back is massive.
It is, and he's certainly not, like you said, we didn't expect to have him back for his senior year. That's why we recruited Jet Buck and brought him here because we figured he would be our shortstop in waiting there. But, he's been more vocal. He's wanted to be more vocal. He's wanted to take that on and said, this is my last chance to accomplish a team goal that I really want to accomplish. So he's taken that on a little bit more and understanding that it's funny how that works. The more you kind of just put yourself out there with your teammates, the easier it becomes for you individually.
And you mentioned Jet, and let's kind of go around the infield here. You thought maybe he'd be your shortstop. You have him probably at second base here. Put up some massive numbers at the Division II level. How do you think maybe his power, his pop transitions to this level?
Yeah, and that's something that we've seen since he stepped foot on campus. I mean, he's not a big guy. I mean, he's probably 5'10", 190 pounds. Now, he has put on 20 pounds since he got to Nebraska. Shout out Training Table, Riley Loy, everybody over there. But, he's a wiry, strong kid. He grew up riding dirt bikes. So he's got the strength between his elbows and his fingertips, which is pretty incredible how that translates, honestly, into hitting. I mean, and just the strength he has in the barrel of the bat's pretty impressive. So if you make a mistake over the middle, he's going to make you pay. So he's a guy we expect to do damage for us. And
Case Sanderson, a guy that just sort of reading through some of the articles and doing the preparation for the season, a consistent glove, a consistent starter coming back as well. Do you see more of the pop and the power coming off of his bat this year?
Yeah, and that's something that he's been a very consistent hitter, 320 in his career, been an everyday starter for 2 years, really a plus defender at first base, but he wants to play professional baseball. Not a lot of, singles hitters in the big leagues that are playing first base. So, I'm not going to sit here and make some wild, prognostications as to how many homers he's going to hit. I do know he's hitting the ball harder. He's using all fields. Now, he's always been an off-field hitter. He's always been an opposite field hitter with rare pull ability. Now he's doing a lot better job of using the whole field, and excited to see what he can bring as a run producer.
All right, Coach, and, continuing to move around the infield and at third base, and Josh Overbeek, I know he dealt with the injury last year at the Big Ten tournament, and you guys go on to win that, but had a little bit of a setback in the fall, but it seems like he's ready to go as well.
Yeah, we really didn't see much of him in the fall. He came back for about a week and kind of re-injured that foot. Ended up having surgery and removed the bone from his foot, which I think has certainly really, really helped him. shown no signs of being slowed down with that this January. Full go defensively on the bases. He looks fantastic in the box. Made a couple of adjustments with him physically and mentally too. I think just trying to get him, a little bit more honed in to maybe some of his power that he's unlocked at times for us. But he looks great, and you're really, again, another guy with this kind of a consistent theme, an older guy who we expect and need to be a run producer for us. If you look back to last year, especially when we went on our run in like the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season, Beek was getting all the clutch hits. Beek was the 2-out RBI king. Beek was, just driving the baseball and really hitting his stride. So he's kind of picked up where he's left off, made some improvements even from there. And more than anything, he's kind of been that vocal, hands down. He's the alpha of the group, where the guys look to him. And it's been a lot of fun to watch him kind of mature. And he's been that at times in his career. But this year kind of taking that on and getting that extra season of eligibility granted to him. He's like, I'm going to take advantage of this. And he's been an awesome leader for us.
And you guys have a bit of a family affair with the Wordleys. And I know you did a nice little cool interview for social media coming after our jobs. But Jeter, just looking at him and reading some of the articles, local kid, high school quarterback, ridiculous athlete, has had a great fall. What can we expect from the freshman?
Yeah, high energy, man. Like just a winning IQ player. Just going to bring the juice for the team. I mean, the pitching staff loves pitching to him just because he's really just his body language and demeanor is that of a quarterback back there. And, it's rare for a freshman to be in that position. I haven't had many starting catchers that are freshmen in my career ever, wherever I've been. So it kind of just speaks to his talent and his athleticism. And I think we have 3 really good catchers, actually, that all, are going to be very, very big contributors in their own right. But Jeter is a special player. I think he's got a chance to be a good pro and play baseball for a long time when he's done here as well. But take his hits the other way. He's learning to drive the ball in the gaps a little bit more, pick his spots with that. His throwing's improved. He's just a high-energy player that's just, he scored 26 runs in the fall from the leadoff spot, I think, which is like 10 more than anybody else we had on our team. So pretty impressive what he's done in a short amount of time here as a Husker.
What do you think, too, outfield-wise, having to shift some things around and guys moving into the outfield full-time for the first time, and a Devin Nunez that probably get the nod at center field? What's your confidence in the guys that now you assemble in the outfield?
Yeah, I mean, you look at our roster on paper, it's pretty thin in the outfield, but we have some guys that certainly infielders that do both. Dev played outfield quite a bit last year for us and looks great out there. He can run balls down with the best of them. Will Jeske's made the full-time move to the outfield as well, another high-energy player. Butenbeck was arguably our best hitter and most consistent hitter last year till Mono took him down at the end of the year last year, and he returns in right field. So there's some veteran presence there as well, and I think that's kind of the theme with this group. And again, I think the average age of college baseball now is 22. So it used to be if you had 25 years of experience combined in your starting lineup, that's where you wanted to be. Probably that number now is about 28. This year we got a chance to be about 31, so we're very experienced no matter how you draw it up, even with a potential freshman starting, behind the plate. So a lot of veteran presence there, a lot of good balance left and right-handed, and just look to, again, what I would love to have happen this year is that we don't have to play quite as many close games where we have to make, everything's got to be perfect from the bullpen. Everything's got to be, the situational hitting's got to be, locked down, which we want all that. We want all those things, but what we're hoping for is some more extra base hits from this group, more slug, which we showed at the back half of last year, and it showed up in the Big Ten tournament with some of the home runs that were big swings for us.
And pitching staff, Ty now takes the mantle on the weekends, I would assume. You bring in Cooper, who had an incredible year, Cooper Katsky. MAC pitcher of the year, and Tucker comes back, came back last year, but now the thought is that he could play a role in the weekend spots. How do you see the weekend rotation molding out for you guys as you head into the season?
Yeah, I think right now, obviously, we play 4 games opening weekend, so we're going to need 4 starting pitchers. We have a pool of about 6 guys probably right now that we've kind of narrowed it down to. Ty will take the ball on Fridays most assuredly. Then you have Carson Yasa, who's really come into his own, who's probably our best professional prospect. Taking nothing away from Ty, because Ty is going to be a pretty good pick as well. Katsky, 11-game winner, last year, just knows how to manage a game, and there's something to be said about that. That you can just minimize big innings, and he's a strike thrower, and he's got a plus curveball, and a guy that we really expect to come in and eat innings for us. And like you said, Timmerman certainly could start. He started a couple of Friday games for us last year. He's also a very, very important bullpen piece, as we've seen as well. So. There's a couple other guys in there as well, but I think just the pieces of the bullpen and college baseball, a lot of times you need to start from the back to front, and you need to have those X factor guys that can pitch out of the bullpen and take the ball a couple times a week, and and just really, really give you consistent innings, whether it be starting or in the pen.
How about Kevin Manell comes over from Mississippi State, and he's a well-traveled guy, and like you said, it's better to have some older guys if you can. Does he slot in now to that closer role, and how does he manage those situations, sort of the mental side of being that guy?
Yeah, and he'll close for us, kind of a low slot guy, funky, very, very difficult to hit, plus slider. He's up to 94 from that low slot. He's got 23 inches of movement, with his fastball, and now with his sliders going the other direction. I mean, the hitters have to cover the entire plate, and the ball's going 2 different directions for him. So he's a competitor, got married in the offseason, obviously mature, as you said. He's been around the block. Guy that we recruited hard out of Cloud County a couple of years ago, kind of used that relationship and leveraged that relationship when he went in the portal. And obviously very, very thankful to have him back. He's pitched in some big environments in the SEC. Feel like he's got a chance to come and be a guy we're excited to get the ball to, and not just a 3-out guy too. He can. We saw in the Red-White series, I think he went 3 innings and punched out 8 maybe at the end of the fall. So guy that can make the game disappear pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at the start of the schedule, and you have the Desert Invitational out in Arizona, UConn, Northeastern, Grand Canyon, Stanford, and then you're heading to Texas and Arlington playing at Globe Life, but you got Louisville and Florida State, and you have Auburn in a 3-game set, not to mention you have Kansas State in there as well. There's no easy ones to start the year.
No, and UConn has been one of the winningest programs in the last 10 years, if you look at it, and their commitment to baseball is pretty impressive there. They have really good players. Coach Penders has been there a long time, done an amazing job. They're going to be tough right out of the chute. They got a lot of good returning pitching, and it's Northeastern has been a perennial regional team as well, and Grand Canyon we're very familiar with. We played them the last couple of years, and Stanford will be a new opponent for us. Originally, I think Air Force was going to be in that deal with us, but I think we ended up Stanford instead. So it'll be a challenge. I mean, the first 3 weeks, we kind of have to set ourselves up with the schedule, RPI-wise. Got to win the right games, win enough games to give ourselves a chance when we come back home and go on a run.
Is the ultimate goal, you want to take it series by series, but just hearing you guys talk, hosting a regional, I think, do you feel like that's the one big goal that these guys, or the tangible goal that these guys are chasing? Yeah, and that's something that I haven't shied away from either. Just, I think just because I know what this place looks like when you do host a regional, and you got a chance to have 10,000 people in the stands and show off our beautiful ballpark and our awesome fan base to a national televised audience, and then opens a lot of eyes of some recruits maybe that have never seen our place before. So I think that's we were really probably could have done it in 21. We're really close to doing it in 24 and didn't quite get over the hump. So we've been on the doorstep a couple of years.
Feel like the team, a bunch of guys that have won before and a bunch of guys that were running to that winning culture. They're hungry to do it. It's incredibly difficult. I mean, we tell our guys that all the time. It's one thing to have those goals. It's another thing to do what it takes, to go achieve them. And so top 5% is what it looks like, right? 16, regional hosts, that's all there are in the country, and there's over 200 teams. So that we have to set ourselves up, though, with our schedule, and our schedule certainly allows us to do that if we can get some good wins in there.
And like you mentioned, you have a junior class that knows nothing but dog piles.
That's
so
right.
that helps when you have winning tradition and
right.
people who understand what the standard is. Contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. This is the first of many conversations we'll have, not just maybe in post games. I'll have about 20 games this year with you guys, and I'll see you guys out in Texas. But we'll have full hour shows coming up starting in the month of March, and we're really excited to get the baseball season going. I'm excited to be a part, a small part of it. But great to have a first conversation with you, Coach. First time in the new studios. We look forward to many more. Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it, and really appreciate your knowledge already of our team, and look forward to working with you. A lot of fun. February 13th, MLB Desert Invitational, starting off with UConn. Again, February 13th is opening night for Nebraska baseball. Huge thanks to head coach Will Bolt, Nebraska baseball, getting set to get started. And we continue with more right after this.
Dear Weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, sunset. These trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive. From enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Dear Weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
From the chant of Husker power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Great conversation there with Will Bolts. He was impressed with your knowledge. We were joking in the commercial break. You've just been working on your charts since football season ended.
That's what I have to be doing, right? So it's I'm excited for it to be around that team. Ben and Nick have told me, getting a chance to talk to them in the weeks leading up, that it is truly a family atmosphere. When you're on the road with them, you're part of the group. So my first game will be on the 20th, and we play at Globe Life, which is in the same area as Jerry's World and AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. They have some really good teams to start the year, including in that event. Louisville's top, one of the top teams in the country, FSU. They're going to have a 3-game set against Auburn, who's a preseason top 10 team. Like, their schedule, you want to host a regional like we talked about with Coach Bolt, that's one of their goals that they're looking for. They certainly have the resume that they can build in the non-conference to get to where they want to go.
A couple of football notes. So you mentioned out at the basketball game yesterday, saw a number of the recruits there. Junior Day happened over the weekend. I was told it was one of their best ones they've had, that it was a little bit more intimate, but they had a great visit. We saw Trey Taylor was there with a couple of the big names that are going to be joining the Huskers or have committed to the Huskers. But so that was good. Quinn Clark won the dunk contest. Didn't I take him? I took Quinn.
Did we make picks?
I don't
remember if we made picks. I'll tell you what, Quinn's first one was the one that impressed me the most because it was in one try.
Right.
It was a windmill dunk over Corey Campbell. It's one that you could see on social media. I think the biggest upside dunker is Jeremiah Charles. He tried to go between the legs.
He was trying to put on a show.
He was trying to put on a show, and he just didn't land it. He didn't dunk it, didn't go through the net, but I think he has the most upside as an elite dunker.
And then there's some reports circling on social media about Dave Tolson, who was part of the staff leading up to the Las Vegas Bowl, that he has joined officially the staff as a defensive analyst. And you can confirm because you saw him at the training table.
Yeah, I saw him at the training table today, so I can probably say.
Will Bolt got it in, but I had to make sure
ding.
we got it in today.
We'll see if he's still allowed to wear those cowboy boots he was wearing during bowl prep, Dave Tolson. So he has that connection with Coach Rule and played with the Giants, and he's had some good moments in his career, and he was heavily involved in the defensive line during bowl prep, so he's going to stick around. It's good to see that he'll still have a voice in that room. I know he's very close with the head coach, so good to have him on board.
All right, let's go ahead and get to a break. We are back to wrap up hour number 1 next. Enhance your grilling game with a Nebraska-made grill from M Grills. Wood pellet and charcoal grills made to last with Nebraska values. Check them out at mgrills.com, a proud supporter of Husker Athletics.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Husker fans, if you're looking for a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding and provides flexibility, your local insurance agency is hiring. No matter your skills or interests, there are opportunities for you in the insurance industry. Explore the many ways you can use your skills to protect your community by checking out the IIAN job board. Find your calling and be a part of an industry that makes a difference. Go to iian.org/careers today.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back. Final segment here of hour number 1 of Sports Nightly. Final one for me. I will turn things over to Kyle and Peyton Borders for the Nebraska men's basketball hour. Did want to quickly mention, tough one for Nebraska women's basketball. The score looked a little out of hand, more so than actually I feel like the game probably was throughout the entirety of the game, and especially there in the fourth quarter. Nebraska ended up cutting it to 4 at Ohio State last night. So really a tough Sunday for both basketball teams. But the Huskers without Jess Petrie once again. She's a big piece, but they cut it to 4 there, but Ohio State ends up running away with it in the end. And it's a tough stretch for the women as they are at Michigan State, and another one of those top 10 ranked teams on the road on Wednesday. And so that will boot us off the air. But man, just brutal, but hey, they showed some fight there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they were down 62-42 in the second half. They cut it to 66-62. So they went on a massive run. And then Ohio State finished the game on a 17-3 run. So they scored 17 of the final 20. So it was like 3 different parts of the second half. You look away, all of a sudden Nebraska chips, makes it a game. And you look away again, all of a sudden they're down double figures. So it's tough to win on the road, especially they have the Cambridge sisters that are, one of them's a really high recruit, Kennedy Cambridge, who dropped to 30 in the game. Shout out to Maya Hargrove.
Yeah, she's
one of the best games
Yep.
of her season for sure, with 24 points. And I think you got to find a way to get more stops. Basketball is about scores and stops, and Ohio State shot 52% for the game, hit 11 threes, so you probably want a little bit more out of that end.
So we have a special show coming up tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you about it now because I'm about to be done for the night. Wednesday's National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and since Nebraska women's basketball will be on the air starting at 5:30 for the pregame show, we will not have a show. So tomorrow night, from 6 to 8, the whole 2 hours. Kyle will not be here. We're going to make it all about the women. So we have a full women's show for you. We're going to hear from a number. It's going to be a fun show. Susan Elza, Dr. Elza is going to be here, talk some Husker football. We're going to talk some Husker volleyball. You want to talk about a fun conversation with Terea Sigler, who broke you in
One of
on
my
your
favorite.
first, right? She made you sound like a volleyball pro.
Yeah, which is very, very hard to do, but she was sensational. I think she's going to be a broadcaster when she's done playing.
She should be. But Terea T. Sigler and Ryan Hunter were here, so get a chance to talk to them. And Arden Lockheim, who is awesome. She's a broadcaster and also a women's golfer. And then Kennedy Williams, a two-sport star, and Ava Cusack. I had to think about who all I had on the show.
That's a lot of interviews.
We've got a stacked show coming up for you tomorrow night here, all coming up from 6 to 8 on Sports Nightly.
Awesome. Shout out to you for getting all those interviews and doing that show. I know you had how many nights ago you had the shadow at the women's basketball game. So a lot of great stuff, a lot of great content coming up. No better content than the 2 hours tomorrow here on Sports Nightly. And you're kicking me out of the studio, but I guess I will return. I won't return on Wednesday, though, because we have women's basketball. So you're kicking me out until Thursday.
Yes, so we will be back on the air on Thursday. But yeah, so fun show coming up for tomorrow. It'll just be me. But Kyle asked me today, do you need anything?
I won't take it personally.
He said, do you need anything? I said, absolutely not. The ladies have delivered. So we've got lots of fun stuff coming up for you tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that. Should be a fun one. Full 2 hours on Thursday, and we're going to talk. You're going to actually dive into some men's gymnastics.
I'm going to try to. We're gonna talk all things men's gymnastics. Of course, the memory of Jim Hartung. Talk about his impact on men's gymnastics. The current team as they're sort of just starting up their season. So a lot to dive into with that program, and we'll have bowling coming up soon too. So I'm learning more about a lot of different sports. I think that's important.
Adding to your repertoire.
My
Kyle.
repertoire. Yes, I am trying. I'm trying. You're making me, so I'm trying.
Listen,
you're making me expand my horizons.
You got here, it was just football. We could only talk football on the show for 2 hours.
Football.
And then we slowly added basketball.
Slowly added basketball. Now it's all basketball. And so it won't just be all baseball. And Friday, we start a whole new season with Nate the Great on the air. Nate Rohr down in San Antonio, UTSA. And how about a way to start the season? Nebraska, Texas, defending national champions to start the season. I would assume Jordy Fromm, formerly Jordy Ball, will get the start on opening night.
Unless she starts, because look, this happened last year when they had doubleheaders. Coach Ravel played her in the first game to set the tone. So
if it could be Jordy Fromm
because they
against
play Washington earlier in the day.
That's right. So it's not technically
their
opener.
So I could see her. Hey, here's the ball for game one, and then they give somebody else the opportunity in game two.
If not
we'll
game
see.
two, Jordy Fromm, Tegan Kavan, two of the best pitchers in the game. That's my hope.
We'll see. We'll see what they decide to do, but we will have it for you right here. The second game. So the season opener will be earlier in the day, but we'll have that big matchup with Texas and Nebraska right here, taking the place of Sports Nightly. So not a lot of Kyle and me together.
I forgot about that
This
part.
is basically it this week for us. But make sure and tune in tomorrow, but keep it right here because we've got our Nebraska Men's Basketball Hour coming up next with Kyle and Peyton Borders. Keep it here.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at AppliedConnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
And now, introducing the starting lineup of your Nebraska Huskers. Starring Allo Fiber. At number 1, Allo Internet. At number 2, no satellite dish required. DirecTV through Allo. And at number 3, Allo Mobile. Allo Fiber, the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of Husker Nation. Level up your game and go to allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Dear Weekend. Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
It's time for the Nebraska Men's Basketball Coaches Show.
Sanford climbs up underneath Wagler. Here comes a screen for Wagler. They switch it again. Jacobson's got him. Shot blocked! Loose on the floor. Coming up with it is Sanford. Sanford looks for the trailer. It's Frager. Frager, a dribble. The shot by Hoiberg. Got it. Holy smokes! Holy cow! Tied the game at 31. Skip pass, right side. Sanford fakes right, comes left. Back over to Sam. Left corner, Frager, 3-ball up. Got it! 9-0 run. Sanford, Hoiberg, Frager. 9-zip run. Huskers up 3. Ivasic down the floor. Stojakovic for Illinois. Picked up by Hoiberg. Puts his head down. Stripped away by Jacobson. Jacobson's been a demon defensively. Jacobson down the left side, all the way in, lays it up and good! How about Big Jake? How about Big Jake? That's Jacobson. Way to go, Kale, my boy!
Now, here's your host, Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into the Nebraska Basketball Show. Kyle Crooks with you here in studio. I have a very special guest today as we talk all things Husker hoops. Of course, coming off what was a big week with a couple of top 10 opponents. Didn't go the Huskers' way, but played some hard-fought games. We'll get into that, get into the weeks ahead, and we're going to talk a lot of recruiting as well. Peyton Borders is with us, assistant coach, recruiting coordinator. Peyton, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing good. It's obviously last night not the way we wanted to go, but we were in early this morning. Already getting after it a bit, a little talk and teach practice this morning. So, yeah, just got to quick turnaround and just focus on the next. So.
Sports amnesia, I think, is really important. Everybody wants to be – we get suffocated by the here and now, right? Top 5 team and now dropping down a little bit in the AP rankings. But there's so much that we haven't seen around here for basketball when it comes to Nebraska that we are seeing this year. And then everyone wants to get wrapped up in – okay, Nebraska's lost 2 straight, this, that, and the other, but you guys have to get on to the next week. And for you, it's Rutgers coming up, and it's a full week of preparation.
Sure, yeah. It's obviously we got off to a great start there. But, after these 2 losses, after playing 2 really good programs in Michigan and Illinois, seeing some of the best talent in the country, that's what we signed up for. That's what we want to compete against every night. But, now is not the time to freak out and crumple up the game plan and reinvent the wheel with anything that we're doing. We just got to continue to get back being us, what got us to this point, and then just lean on each other and just stick with that. And yeah.
How's everybody feeling around the program just sickness-wise? Because we know Rink was going through it, Sam was going through it. Talk to some other coaches. Their teams are going through it. I feel like everybody needs to be sequestered and get away from each other, and everyone's should have their time in the training table to eat and then get away. How's everybody feeling after the game yesterday? We getting healthier?
Sure, yeah. Everybody has the sniffles right now, the coughs, everything like that. But it's not just our program; it's every team. Right now it's cold outside, right? But every team's going through that, and so try not to give into that. Getting your rest, taking care of ourselves. We tell the guys just take care of yourself. If you need to take an off day, maybe not come in, get extra work. We have Jake, our sports nutritionist, taking supplying us with things that we need to stay on top of it. But everybody's going through it. But yeah, it's more annoying than anything.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Chatting with Peyton Borders, assistant coach and recruiting coordinator for Husker Hoops, and the newest AP poll has the Huskers at 9. Still a lot to play. You have a whole nother month here before we start talking Big Ten tournament and NCAA tournament. But Illinois, let's go there first. Talented team, hottest team in the Big Ten right now. Keaton Wagler is a dude, man. He had 40-plus the other night against Purdue, and we saw what he was about at Pinnacle, and then their size is truly elite. So what did you learn yesterday when you played a team like Illinois for a second time?
No, absolutely. First of all, to your point, Keaton Wagler, as advertised, obviously I think he's even gotten better from when we saw him in December. Just his poise, he's somebody who he doesn't get consumed in the crowd. He handles the pressure, and there's a reason he deserves all the credit with all the national attention and NBA talk. Absolutely. But, also just the complete team that they have. They really slowed things down, and they played in the half court, and they used the ability with their positional size. They have, at times 2 7-footers and, a 6'9" guy at the 3. So they were able to, get a lot of second chance points that obviously, we come in and we prepare for, but it's tough to simulate. It's something that, you know, you have to be mentally ready for the physicality and everything like that. But, you know, ultimately, you know, they just too many second chance points there. And they really controlled the pace, it felt like, in the second half as well. And once they got momentum, they really just, you know, stuck it and grinded one out. We just weren't able to pull back away. So.
Is that an area, biggest area for this team you think they can continue to improve is physicality? And, you know, watching back the game from yesterday in the second half, you guys got shots that you wanted, right? You got open shots. Shots just didn't seem to fall. Their size was what it was, and they had the advantage there, and usually that leads to winning that rebounding margin. But do you want to see this team at times maybe be more physical against teams like that?
I mean, absolutely, and I don't think it's just Illinois specifically. It's just the entire Big Ten. You're going to have a physical matchup every night. So it's just got to be a mentality each and every night, knowing that this is what we signed up for. It is the Big Ten. And to not be surprised by it. You know, our scout team, they do an unbelievable job of trying to simulate it, but until it gets real and it's mano a mano, you know, you got to bring your hard hat. And it's something that I think with the mature group that we do have and experience, they understand it. But it's going out and executing is another thing. So you got to really go out and execute the game plan. I mean, as coaches, we can only talk about it so much. You got to go out and do it. So.
What was that the post-game locker room like? How much of the players talking? What's Fred's message to the team after the game?
Sure, you know, again, just trying not to overreact to something like this. Obviously, dropping two games there in a row, obviously not ideal, and it's, you know, two big matchups that, you know, meant a lot to us. You know, coming into it, we knew the lineup having a top 10 matchup back to back like that. There's not a lot of opportunities like that. So the guys were eager and the guys were prepared. We had a good week of prep and whatnot. But you know, it was just, you didn't feel disconnect or anything. The guys knew that we still had room to grow. And I felt like, you know, the record said we were perfect, but up until that point, film hadn't said we were perfect, right? We still had a lot of things to grow. And, you know, that this opportunity now, dropping these two games, is you get a chance to learn about yourself. And these now 5-6 days that we have in between, get a lot to work on ourselves and things that we need to improve upon. And, you know, we address those and just continue to lean on one another. And, again, not try to reinvent anything, just, you know, learn about ourselves. And you can really use this positively in these two losses and learn from them and improve.
Yeah, I think this little mini break comes at a good time, at least break away from game action, especially for Braden Frager, who now could probably get even closer to 100%. But that was about as loud as I've heard that building when Braden checked in for the first time, and then the performance he had was just awesome.
Oh, no, I'm super happy for him because obviously you saw the emotion on the bench. You saw Connor praying with him there, a really cool moment. But you see how much it means to him, and it also, as a player, you can see how fast things can change. You know, he was playing such great basketball there, and obviously going down, it's super tough. It's hard on the mental, you know, and being a young kid like he is, you know, it's a tough situation. So I'm really happy that he felt the love from our fans. It was a really cool moment for him, and I know you know, he was eager to get back out there. I know it hurt him missing that Michigan game, obviously, and you know, he was doing anything in his power to fight back and get back for this Illinois game. And I'm really happy for him. But, you know, he's a competitor too, so it's a great moment. But he was trying to win that game just like the rest of us. So, yeah, we're glad to have him back.
Did you see him trying to force himself back? And I'm sure you and others on the staff having conversations with him and saying, Braden, you know, we'd love to have you for Michigan, but we also want you for March Madness, and we want you for all these games moving forward.
Sure. I mean, a competitive kid like him, I mean, he probably thought he could have played, even though everybody knew he couldn't have, right? But, you know, that's just who he is, and that's what makes him a good player. And, you know, it's stuff, too, is he knows that, you know, you saw the picture of him cheering, watching it on TV, stuff like that. Like, he really cares about this team, and the guys care about him. They knew, you know, they were all telling him, hey, we know that we're a man down, but we got you, Braden, you know, and that's something that, you know, just leaning on each other and understanding that when we have a guy down, it's the next man up. But yeah, I'm super happy that he's back and just continue to, you know, be a full group together and just be us.
And for Rink trying to get back into rhythm, I mean, for him, and what people don't realize is he was, you know, not really able to touch a basketball for about a week, right? So he's not getting shots up, and yeah, he's a great basketball player. He can get into the rhythm of the game. But for him, I would assume it's pretty tough for his shot right now to get a good feel when you're that sick, and then all of a sudden you got to play a game. Yeah, you might be a little bit healthier, but for him, he's been away from the game for a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. No, I mean, basketball is about rhythm, right? It's, you're playing constantly. You have all these games back to back. You catch this rhythm. And when, obviously you put in a position like that of illness and then obviously going to the emergency room, that's a lot. That's a lot to just go in, and it's impressive that he even, one, went through a warm-up in Michigan, but then obviously going to the emergency room and then, 48 hours, whatever it was, and playing that game last night. It just speaks to the competitor that he is, the leader that he is. But, yeah, you could just tell, it's maybe just getting back in his rhythm, finding again, that rhythm again that he had in that December, January stretch. But, he's a guy who's played a lot of college basketball. So he knows himself. He knows who the kind of player he is. He knows what he needs to do, prepare, get back in the gym, whatever that may look like. But just find that rhythm again and be ring mass that we all know who he is.
What's his leadership qualities like? We know what he does on the floor. What's he like around the team at practice and other activities?
Sure, yeah. I think just accountability, not afraid to call a guy out if somebody's slacking, if he needs to speak up. And the guys also respond well to it because they know it's not personal, right? They know that he's a guy who's seen a lot of college basketball, has won here at Nebraska, and done things that we're striving to do here again this season. So, he has that trust, and, the guys, when he speaks, everybody understands that, he's a perfect echo of what our coaches, our message is to the guys. He's a perfect echo to the players, right? And so, no, he's like a robot sometimes, like with his leadership. It's just, he's like a technician. So, yeah, he's got the ultimate respect from all the guys, top to bottom. So, yeah, we're going to need that, down this stretch here with 9 games left in the regular season on to the Big Ten and whatever comes after.
Sometimes being a robot is a good thing because you know what to expect, right? Day in, day out, from a leadership standpoint, you know what to expect from him at a practice. He knows where he's supposed to be during the games. Chatting with Peyton Borders, assistant coach and recruiting coordinator. Yesterday we mentioned the environment, whiteout, awesome. I think what stood out to me is I'm looking up 9 minutes on the clock before you guys have run out of the tunnel. There's not an empty seat. The anticipation, the fever pitch around Lincoln, and it's always been good here. Even when it hasn't been a 20-2 season, the seats have been full. But to see, the governor was here and football was there, I think a good Nebraska basketball team does so much for athletics and so much for this city and this state. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. And I've been very fortunate to be in this program now for the 5th season now under with Coach Hoiberg. And to see early on, just seeing it all form together, and kind of seeing the fruits of the labors of not only these guys, but the players who have come before. I saw a picture the other day with Sam Griesel and Derek Walker, one of their games, and seeing it before the tip-off. And, it was a decent crowd, right? But just understanding the foundation that guys like them have laid, and now you're seeing, the culture that trickled down into even a group like this. You had Sam Hoiberg, Cale Jacobson, Jamarcus were all part of those teams, and those guys weren't always leaders too. Those were young men trying to find their role, find their leadership as well, and they learned from those guys. And so you're seeing all that form, and meanwhile you're seeing that support from the fan base. And to your point, the students are wrapped all around downtown with the line and everything like that. So that doesn't go unnoticed, and it means the world to our staff, our players, and certainly that's why we just try to play a brand of basketball that's easy to cheer for, and you hate losing those ones because you understand the hype and everything around it. But that's why the guys who were in today, focused, locked in the film, and understanding that all right, we missed that opportunity, but when is the next one? Just on to the next.
I think what was cool is I saw K-Say was on the video board trying to ramp up the crowd, and I think what's big about this program is you guys embrace the former players, and how much has Fred, maybe yourself, talked to some of the former players that have helped build the foundation and see their excitement for what Nebraska basketball has become this year.
Oh, it's really cool. I mean, getting FaceTimes from Juwan Gary, Bryce McGowan's, all those guys, just seeing their excitement and their investment in this program. It's really cool to see, and that's something that we have Alumni Weekend coming up soon as well, and so that's why you're seeing the success with this group. But I think even the players will tell you what these players have meant in the past, what they've meant to these current players is everything, and it means everything. The texts, the emails, everything that we get from these past players have been a big reason, because again, we wouldn't be here without them. So.
And, I was watching earlier today the A&M game from a couple of years ago in the NCAA tournament and seeing some of those guys that you mentioned that are on this team that have experienced that. How much do you think those guys use that game as fuel, right? To, one, get back to that stage, but to we all know the record in NCAA tournament games all time, but how much do those guys still think about that game, and does it bother them?
Sure. I mean, specifically that game, I think now being 2 years, a year removed from it, I think maybe not as much, but knowing that feeling to get to March Madness, feeling the moment that you reached one step to your goal, right? I think that does weigh a lot. Just having, Rink and Jamar and those guys, Sam as well, getting to that point. And so to your point, it motivates them. They understand that now what it takes to get there. And that's why, this group, they know not to take days off. They know that it's never going to get easy. You can go through these slumps, but how are you going to pull yourself out of them? And that we got to that point, that Texas A&M game, and it wasn't easy, and we went through our own stretches and peaks and valleys. And so now you're seeing one now, and now how are you going to pull yourself out of it? How are you going to get to that point of a March Madness,
Yeah, and we want to rush ourselves to March Madness. We still got a long way to go. Still got a whole month here before the Big Ten tournament. The Nebraska Men's Basketball Coaches Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, where people don't have your money has people. We continue with Peyton Borders, assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, right after this.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins'. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Life is busy. Wouldn't it be great if someone could help you manage your insurance?
Well, I do have a lot to keep on top of. Between the house, my life insurance, the car. Like you said, life is busy.
A local Trusted Choice independent insurance agent can help you with your research, coverage selection, pricing, and claims at no extra cost to you.
Which means I'll have more time to spend on other things.
Trusted Choice independent insurance agents. We'll help do your insurance. You just do you.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no peace of mind like knowing you have a dedicated team of technology experts working for your business around the clock. Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of tech company Applied Connective. It's a privilege to serve our great state for nearly 2 decades now with managed IT, cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, and audio-video solutions. Our team understands the importance of fitting you with the right technologies to help your business perform at its peak potential all day, every day. Discover more at appliedconnective.com and go Big Red.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same. A wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey at woodhouse.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Welcome back to the Nebraska Basketball Show here with assistant coach, recruiting coordinator Peyton Borders, talking all things Husker hoops, getting set for what is no midweek game this week, but heading out to Rutgers, my old stomping grounds. I'm a Jersey guy, so
I know that.
I love watching games at the Rack.
Yeah,
I know they call it Jersey Mike's Arena now, but it's known as the Rack. We all know it's known as the Rack. Another one of those kind of underrated environments, I think, in the Big Ten, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When you go in there, you can feel it. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a physical, scrappy game. And again, you have the student section right there, right next to the bench there. They're letting you hear it. But yeah, just their brand, the Rack. We as a staff, we still reference as the Rack.
Yeah, it's got to be
Jersey, right. But it's just their style of play, everything that goes in the atmosphere. It's no surprise. It's a very good atmosphere.
And you have a huge role outside of being assistant coach, recruiting coordinator. A lot of great recruits, not just basketball but football as well. At the game yesterday, you sense there's a legitimate buzz here for recruiting for Nebraska basketball right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting the national recognition obviously has been great. You see, obviously all our games are on national television. From coast to coast now, you're seeing the ability now to recruit from LA to Jersey, things like that. So it's you're seeing the buzz, and it's good to be in that position. It's good to now not only for current recruits, but now guys who now a couple years later, you're seeing sophomores, juniors. They have their eyes on Nebraska now that they may not have. Now you can establish that relationship. Now moving forward. So it's something that we can build upon, and it's been fun to see just, the recruits that, we can go out and be aggressive towards and have a chance with now.
Yeah, and you guys are recruiting all over the place, coast to coast, all the way down to Florida and what have you, but how important is it to also recruit here in your backyard, especially the Omaha area and some of the gems that are right here in this state?
No, absolutely. It's... being from here originally, obviously, I'm always going to have respect for the in-state kids, maybe a little bias as well. But no, it's something that Midwest basketball right now is really, really good. And you have a lot of good Midwest programs as well, through AAU, everything like that. So Midwest, whether it's Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, you're seeing a really good brand of basketball right now in the Midwest. So we hold pride to making sure that we cast the largest net that we can. Also, obviously having Luka as well internationally, but still holding pride in the heart of America and make sure that we handle that properly.
What's the vetting process for a player? I know Luka, yourself are doing a lot of work, and Fred's out there on the trail as well with everybody on the staff. But say if you see a player, Luka sees a player, how does that trickle down to Fred and then eventually getting on-campus visits and all that?
Sure, yeah. Well, one, with the staff continuity, we've all been working together now for several years, so we all have a feel and understanding of the pieces that are needing to be moved around and what we're looking for in our style of play and IQ of players and everything like that. But yeah, it's like I said, we try to cast a net, and we try to, obviously now globally recruiting international players, recruiting local players, whatever it may be, but just working as one and making sure that we're all on the same page of this. And, it's nice knowing that when we all have been working together, we know that, Luka with international and Coach Nate and Coach Pat, Ernie, them been doing this for a while now, and having their connections. And that being a younger guy, learning from them as well. I've learned a ton from those guys in this space as well. So, just casting that net and, it's been good so far.
Chatting with Peyton Borders, assistant coach, recruiting coordinator for Husker Hoops here on the Nebraska Basketball Show. Fans, contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. So much has changed with college basketball recruiting. We talk a lot about it with college football in the NIL space, and it's become a little bit more transactional, a lot more transactional than it used to be. How hard is it to get guys, identify guys, that it isn't just about the transaction of what you can do for me, but also understanding that you need to find somebody who's a fit?
Sure, absolutely. I think since it has been transactional based, or that's the reputation that it's become, that relationships still do matter. And I still think that you'll hear that a lot of coaches and a lot of staff still, they still stand on that relationships still do matter. Yes, it's transactional. Yes, at the end of the day, that's where a lot of the decisions are being made. But there's relationships with, people all around in this basketball space that people may have worked with in the past or whatever, and that stuff is still valued. And then obviously still making sure that we don't get away from that because we feel like that is a core in our recruiting is relationships and understanding that what we have here at Nebraska is a good place to raise young man and to strive as a student athlete. So it hasn't really changed anything on our end.
I think a big part of your job is when you get somebody here is maybe breaking the reputation of what it's like to live in Nebraska. Sure. People think flat land, corn. Like, no, it's a really fun place to be.
Oh, absolutely.
I think, is that part of when you bring somebody on campus, like Nebraska, everything that you want to do is right here at Nebraska.
You said it, everything you want to do, need to do is here. And that's something that I think obviously is, I think it's lazy to say like, oh, Nebraska, there's nothing to do. Well, you come out here and you'll see, especially this amazing campus that we have with these unbelievable facilities. Every recruit, they're blown away, they're surprised. Well, that's not what I've been told. But you have to be here. You have to see it. So it's always cool to see, international kids fall in love with a place like Lincoln, Nebraska. You have kids from Florida, California, and New York. People saying, I've guys calling me former players. I could see myself moving back here and raising a family. And stuff like that. You'd think, coming into it, they probably never would have said something like that. But just having that home feeling. And like you said, there's plenty to do, amazing people that support you and just want to see you. And it's not just while you're here. You have former players there last night, and, the fans going crazy with them on the Jumbotron. It's forever here. So.
And you're born and raised Nebraska,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So I'm sure you have a lot of Husker memories growing up. So were you going to football games, I assume, growing up?
Oh, yeah.
And basketball games?
Yeah, the cornfields and the flat land that you're talking about, that's more back out west where I'm from, central Nebraska. From Broken Bow, Nebraska, my family has had season tickets since the first sellout. So we've been traveling, every Saturday to Lincoln. So I bleed Husker red. But no, obviously, too, it just means a lot, obviously, working here under Coach Hoiberg and his staff, going back to games in Devaney, and falling in love with Husker basketball as well. And my family still has volleyball, football, and basketball tickets, and they travel to almost every game they can. And so, it means a lot. And I know what it means to people out there as well, in central Nebraska, western Nebraska. It still means everything to them as well, even though they might not be able to make a game or, opportunities are scarce. And so it's been cool hearing from people all over the state reaching out like, hey, you guys are doing great. This team's so fun. It means a lot. And, any chance I can give back or anything to central western Nebraska, I'll never forget where I'm from. So
does I can only imagine what your family thinks of a season like this. And I think about so many of the long-term Nebraska basketball fans specifically that maybe have gone through some frustrating seasons, up and down seasons, that thought, hey, this is the year we're going to win a tournament game. And then to have a season like this, your family must be going crazy thinking about it, but I think about a lot of the longtime season ticket holders for basketball. This is a season for them, right, that they could truly enjoy.
No, absolutely. It truly is. And, when you're in it, like myself and these players that are, show up every day and work, it's hard because you don't want to quite get consumed with all the attention and, like you said, the coach moral victories. But still the support, can't go unnoticed. And, I know that how much it means to these fans being from here. I truly understand. I've lived the seasons of, this is the year, all that stuff. I've been a part of that. So seeing that from that point of view, and now showing up and working with these guys, and learning from Coach Hoiberg, it's truly special. And it means a lot to have all those people reach out, and everything like that. And I can promise one thing, that we, following a loss, we were in this morning watching film, getting after it. So it's something that, it's special to be a part of, and I'm truly thankful.
Chatting with Peyton Borders, assistant coach and recruiting coordinator here on the Nebraska Basketball Show. So you've gone to a lot of Nebraska football games. Do you have a specific game that stands out to you? One as a kid?
Oh, man.
It was probably like 20 below, felt like 20 below?
No, there's been a few. That Oregon game, when Oregon came to town when they weren't in the Big Ten, Tommy Armstrong, I was at that game. The Miami game, night game, Randy Gregory, all them. I've been lucky,
sure,
fortunate
there's some
enough.
Sioux moments in there too.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually at the 09 Big Ten
championship game.
My families, a couple families that rented an RV. We went down there, and I was at that game. I was bawling my eyes out walking back. I was hurt, but I had Sioux jersey, everything like that. It's been pretty cool memories here in Lincoln.
I think that's awesome. You have a tailgating setup still for some of these games? How does that work?
Yeah, so normally, we never really tailgate much, but we always parked over by the baseball fields, and we'd always walk over the viaduct there, over the bridge there, and it's always just super cool. I used to spend a lot of time at the original Husker experience on the track before the Hawks facility and everything was over there. I used to get my hair spray painted, everything, the whole experience. I was really about it, So, so it's cool. And yeah, obviously I love football season, and I love what Coach Rule and all of them are doing over there. And it's always cool to bring our recruits in that experience too, because it simulates it so well of, if we can't bring them to our games, but also these football games, what an unbelievable, there's Memorial Stadium, there's nothing better. So seeing the recruits there and capitalizing on that has been a big success for us as well.
Yeah, it's a relationship that goes both ways, because you guys use a lot of football home days for recruiting events, and then you see football out at a top 10 game. I mean, football is going to utilize that too. When Nebraska basketball is great and they're playing top 10 games, like it helps everybody, because there's all these sports that are getting a piece of success to help them in recruiting. I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a symbiotic relationship between everybody here. Absolutely.
And we all represent the same athletic department, the same university. So why wouldn't we, benefit from one another's success, And that's what's so cool, is working with all these other staffs, the cohesion that, I've experienced, hearing from other departments, other universities, like we have it really well here. We have it really good here. I'm super thankful for what all other sports have done for us, but likewise, that we will do anything that we need for any other program, any other sport here as well. So just having that trust and that want for success is other. It's creates such a healthy and fun environment for everyone.
Chatting with assistant coach, recruiting coordinator Peyton Borders. Couple segments left with Coach here on the Nebraska Basketball Show. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back with more right after this.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole. Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Husker fans, if you're looking for a fulfilling career that's financially rewarding and provides flexibility, your local insurance agency is hiring. No matter your skills or interests, there are opportunities for you in the insurance industry. Explore the many ways you can use your skills to protect your community by checking out the IIAN job board. Find your calling and be a part of an industry that makes a difference. Go to iian.org/careers today.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Call SOS, a trustworthy company since 1950. Their technicians don't earn commission. This equals fair treatment to their customers. SOS is a family-owned third-generation company, and now to celebrate the 75th year in business for a limited time, get a New York AC or furnace for $75 per month. Get you and your loved ones comfortable again with SOS.
SOS to the rescue. SOS.
Call 402-391-2336.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path, Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, or Village Point Toyota of Omaha.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Think a bunch of IT gurus would have anything in common with a dominant college volleyball team? Hey Lincoln, I'm Ed Knott, president of Applied Connective, serving Nebraska businesses for nearly 20 years. We're proud to have a few things in common with our beloved Huskers, namely that we're also a group of hardworking and highly skilled individuals that make up one dynamic team. From our IT and cybersecurity all-stars to our phone, physical security, infrastructure, and audio-video pros, we're one team that can expertly manage all your technologies. Discover why it's a game changer to partner with us at AppliedConnective.com. And as always, go Big Red.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. With Allo plus DirecTV plus Allo Mobile, you get the ultimate teamwork. Internet you can count on, TV you can stream anytime, anywhere, and nationwide coverage you can depend on. Bench the other guys and team up with the official Internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Back on the Nebraska Basketball Show, Kyle Crooks and Peyton Borders, assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, getting set for another week of Husker hoops. No midweek game, but Rutgers coming up on the horizon on Saturday in New Jersey. We're talking a lot of recruiting and high school recruiting, and the calendar is changing a little bit as well. The transfer portal, it was announced, won't be until after the championship game. Originally, it was opening weekend, right, of March Madness, which is absurd. And we've seen college football playoff, the football portals open during the playoffs. So that helps you guys a little bit. Now, the portal window's a little bit shorter, right? It's shrunk down to 15 days, so a little bit different for you guys, but also just helps that you won't have to, if you guys are in at the end, that you just focus on winning games, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, obviously, one, you have to focus on the season that you're in, right? So I think this is able for everybody to lock in and, go, try to make a run in the NCAA tournament as long as you want, not feel like you're falling behind at all in the portal. But, I'm interested, just watching how the football portal with their changes as well, just to see the pace of what this portal, just with it being shorter and, what that will look like. So just anticipating maybe a little bit faster of a process and just, making sure that we're staying sharp on everything and make sure that we're ready to go time comes. So.
When we talk a lot about Fred and this program and how it's so even keel, how have you seen him sort of adjust to the changing expectations with the fan base? And he's been so good at denying all of the rat poison that Nick Saban likes to call it. How do you think he's handled this year and you guys as a staff as you continue the expectations have never been higher, but it's also a day-by-day process? Yeah, no, something that we've been saying is keeping our walls up, right, as Coach Linzer has alluded to. But no, Coach Hoiberg, he's the ultimate professional, first of all. So, he's been in situations like this before. Personally, I haven't, right? So he's been in situations like this. So just learning from him and seeing the poise and the professionalism that he has, it's just trickled down to our staff, and making sure that we're echoing the same message that he is to our guys and just making sure that we're all locked in because, we go back to the goals, the individual goals meetings that we had with our guys in the summer. We haven't achieved anything yet, So they laid that down for us, and coaches continue to remind them that guys we're in a good spot. Especially losing one last night, and not to overreact and just continue to be us, get healthy, and yeah, it's been special to learn under Coach, to just see his poise during this time and being able to see our guys really lean on that, and not seeing them, overreact to these or listen to the rat poison, but everybody just staying on the same track. What's I haven't even asked you about Price Sanford yet and the season that he's having, and he's trending to a guy that could be in the All-American conversation and one of the best players in the Big Ten. How fun, from your vantage point, has it been to watch him get to this point and maybe take listeners and viewers behind the scenes as to how much work has gone into what Price is doing this year? No, absolutely. No, I'm super happy for Price, first of all, but he's also a super competitive kid. And so, I know that, that's all that talk sounds great, and I'm sure he appreciates it, but, man, he wants to win. And so I know these last two really, they stick with him, and he doesn't care about points or anything like that. He's trying to win the basketball game. And so he's a guy, he deserves all the attention. He's a heck of a player, someone who, in a new system that, you maybe see time to adjust. You saw that early, but he's really hit a stride, and that it speaks to the confidence that Coach Hoiberg has in him and the entire staff and also our guys. We want Price to do what he's doing because we all believe in him. We know that he's supposed to be in the situations and getting the shots he's supposed to, and he knows when he's getting those shots. And, Coach has the ultimate confidence in them, and as we all do, and I'm super happy for him. And, yeah, he's a competitive kid, so I know that he's not too happy right now with these last two. So, yeah. Have you been around a guy that has a faster release than Price Sanford getting shot up? I mean, it's crazy. I remember obviously playing him in the last two seasons. But when he's in Husker Red and we were at practice this summer, I'm like, did he get faster? But no, it's you need that, especially with the tension that he gets. It's you got to have a quick release with those guys chasing him and him running around. And I think the most impressive thing, aside from his releases, how good of shape he is in. He's constantly moving. He's putting pressure on the rim. He's constantly moving to where guys are losing them on switching and everything like that. So I think his off-ball movement and his conditioning, to credit Kurt Joseph and the strength conditioning, the ability to play 30-plus minutes, constantly moving, having all the attention, I think that might be the most impressive. Releases fast. Yeah, I mean, just watching you guys, though, as a team, it never gets stale or stagnant. There's always movement off the ball, whether it's Price, Sam, there's always somebody moving away from the ball. I mean, you guys, it seems like it just never gets bogged down on the offensive end. Shots come and go, but you guys, like you said, the conditioning of this team is pretty good.
Absolutely. No, it goes back to the work in summer that Kurt Joseph has put these guys through. He tries to make it fun. I don't know how fun conditioning. I don't know how you can ever make it fun. But the guys they really trust his work, and he's in their ear constantly about how it will benefit you. Like buy in now here in June, July, and this conditioning stuff, and watch what we'll do in January, February, and March, right? And so you see guys seeing that, but also just to our offense, it takes a lot of trust knowing that obviously guys, they're going to continue to move. They're going to continue to, get to the next action. They're going to continue to know that, hey, my cut might not be a scoring cut for myself, but it may get somebody else open. Setting unselfish screens, physical screens. I heard Coach allude to it, the aesthetically pleasing offense. Mm-hmm. It truly is. But, our guys, they really buy in, and they understand where the shots are coming from. There's no delusion on thinking they need to go out and be someone else that they're not, and just continue to buy into coach's system. And yeah.
Yeah, that strength and conditioning in the off season, it's paying off.
Yeah.
Especially will pay off here over the next month as legs start to get a little bit tired. One more segment coming up with Coach Peyton Borders with us in studio, assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, and we'll wrap up the Nebraska basketball show right after this.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
At Woodhouse, it's more than just buying a car. It's about the experience. Our team is dedicated to making every visit seamless, enjoyable, and personalized to your needs. Explore a wide selection of vehicles, from SUVs and sedans to trucks and luxury models, all backed by expert guidance and exceptional service. Whether it's your first car or your next upgrade, discover why generations of drivers trust Woodhouse for a truly memorable experience. Visit us at woodhouse.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Nebraska Basketball Show here with Peyton Borders. Final segment, assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, talking all things Huskers and recruiting. Rutgers coming up on Saturday. We were talking during the break. They're giving away these anime cards, apparently, that are all the rage. So this is the hardest ticket for the rest of the year on the road for the Huskers, is at the Rack. How about that? So it's going to be a good environment. We've always said, we said to start the show, the Rack is the real deal.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's a place where, they feel like it's a smaller gym.
Yeah, it's super inclined to it, but it's loud.
Absolutely. Super loud. The students are right, feels like right on top of you, but, it's an atmosphere that it's kind of their style of play too, if that makes sense. It's a rough, it's a hostile environment, and that's how they play. They're a real scrappy bunch, and the crowd feeds off of it. And when they go on runs, the place can just erupt. So yeah, we got to be ready to go. So.
Took USC to the brink on Saturday. Had Michigan State on the ropes on their home floor. So this is a team that, when you look at it, they're 2-9 right now in the Big Ten, but it's a team that certainly can win on any given day, and that's sort of what we expect here in the Big Ten.
No, absolutely. There's no off night in the Big Ten. And it's one of those teams is take their record out. They're much better than that. And Tariq Francis being one of the best scoring guards in our league, a guy who comes off the bench is head of the snake, as we say. They're gonna be ready to go. And again, nothing changes. We're still the targeted, being a ranked team. So we're gonna get anybody's best any night. So we have to be prepared because we've been in battles in that place before. And yeah, it's always a tough game that we have to be prepared for the physicality and the scratching, claw, and everything. It's going to be a gritty one.
So what does the rest of the week for the Huskers look like? You'll travel on Friday. I'd assume the practices aren't the same in terms of how much maybe you're asking from a physicality standpoint, sure. And output in that regard. But what does it look like here for the Huskers getting ready for Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I alluded to this morning, we were back at it this morning with a lengthy film session. And then we were already in our prep for Rutgers, a lot of talk and teach, went through a couple of 20-minute stations and talked a little offense, defensive schemes. But then we have off day tomorrow, so it'll be a big recovery day for our guys, but also guys who, maybe need to get shots up. We still leave that open for guys who need to get a little extra work in. And then we'll from my understanding, we'll taper into the weekend with the game being Saturday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be our toughest days, just as far as the physicality and going up and down quite a bit, competing. And then we'll just taper down Friday. And with an earlier game, we normally make that Friday a little bit lighter, a lot more talk technique, so we can be as fresh as possible for Saturday.
And the rest of the guys, maybe some guys that aren't necessarily part of the rotation now but are a part of the future, sure. These are big weeks too. You're continuing to develop those guys throughout the week in terms of skills and other things.
Absolutely. Good opportunity for guys on the scout team and some of these younger guys, to your point, getting extra work in. I love this team so much because there's always somebody down there getting work in. There might be two guys, one basket, somebody on the gun on the other end. There's somebody always in the gym in this group. And so it's a hard-working group, and it trickles down from 1 through 15.
Well, Peyton, thanks so much for joining us from central Nebraska to the big time and part of a top 10 program. You're a huge part of it with what you do on the bench and recruiting efforts, and I think the floor has raised in terms of some of the talent you've brought here, and that's a lot of because of the work that you guys are doing in recruiting. So thanks so much for hopping in studio. You did more showtime than a lot of the other coaches, too, so you have that bragging rights.
I'm going to let them know. I can't wait to get back to the office already. Yeah, I'm going to let them know. Yeah.
I appreciate you, Peyton. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, no, thank you, guys.
So our coverage will begin on Saturday, 10 a.m. Central at Rutgers, Camp Pavelka. Coach Jeff Smith will have the call for the Huskers and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. We like to call it the Rack. Josh Hilkelman, along with Camden Cohn, Peyton Borders. Big thanks to Seamus as well. I'm Kyle Crooks saying so long on the Nebraska Basketball Show.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Returns on the farm are under pressure, with market challenges and environmental hurdles putting every seed to the test. But you have an ace in the hole, Streamline Ag. Designed for every phase of growth and development, Streamline Ag gives your seed what it needs to thrive, from enhanced stand establishment and early emergence to essential nutrition and stress management. Streamline Ag gives your seed the power to reach its full potential. Visit us at streamline-ag.com to learn more.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Since 1975, Woodhouse has proudly served our customers and communities. From one dealership to over 21 dealerships across Nebraska and Iowa, our promise remains the same: a wide selection of vehicles, trusted service, and financing that fits your life. We believe in honest people, fair prices, and relationships built to last. Because it's not just about the road ahead, it's about traveling it together. Start your journey